thank you for doing this. It's very exciting. So as we get started, maybe tell me where you are and are you in Rio?
No.
Me in São Paulo, Mariana in Rio.
And I'm in Rio, yes.
And you're in Rio. So we were kind of following politics, you know, like everybody does. So give me an idea, just before we talk about the music, a little bit about what it's like there at this point in time.
About the virus?
Well, the virus and the politics.
And everything, okay.
The virus and the politics that follow it, because, you know, we're all aware of it.
Yes. Gil, você quer falar em português e quer que eu traduza?
Eu não entendi a pergunta.
A pergunta é: quer saber como é que estão as coisas aqui, qual a situação atual do Brasil, assim.
Entendi. Terrible.
All right, that sums it up
nicely.
Awful.
Acho que eu vou falar em português,
Okay.
Mari, você me ajuda?
Em português eu traduzo.
Tá.
She's going to speak in Portuguese and then I'm going to translate.
Okay.
Eu acho que a principal dificuldade agora é conseguir retornar ao trabalho. Como a pandemia... Bom, vai.
Deixa eu ir andar aos poucos, né?
Sim,
So
sim.
she said that the worst thing now is how we can start to work again in the arts and concerts and everything. This is the hardest things now.
Nós não temos uma política cultural firmada no país e, ainda por cima, um governo que nega todas as possibilidades à classe artística.
Yeah, we don't have a cultural policy or any kind of policy, right, to be honest, nowadays. Any kind of support from the government, nothing. And it's even worse with the government there is now, because they really don't want to give nothing to culture. They don't want us to work or even to survive. So
yeah. Okay. So my understanding is that the album kind of was starting to be worked on several years ago. And of course, the world has changed a lot since then. So I'm wondering how much that has influenced what we hear on the record.
A influência da pandemia no disco, é isso?
Então, que você começou a fazer o disco há mais tempo, né? E como é que depois, com essa mudança toda, isso influenciou no seu disco?
Eu acho que principalmente porque o momento de finalização de repertório, de escolha de repertório, foi feita durante a pandemia.
Mostly, the most part of the repertoire choice of the whole album was made during pandemic, so it was the most influential thing. But they have been working on it since
2017.
Yeah, 2017. So they were working for the past 4 years.
Nós começamos, eu e o Kiko, de uma maneira bem lenta, sem preocupação com o tempo.
They started really like just trying things and seeing what's going to happen, not to worry about the time.
Right.
Don't thinking about it, just working and seeing where it was going.
Mm-hmm. And then, é bom, né?
I love it when they
pensa que vai falar.
English and Portuguese. I love it.
Quando decidimos que seria um momento de finalizar o disco, início de 2020, veio a pandemia. E aí todo o quadro...
And then, when they started to finish the record, then became the pandemic. So
right.
It was the whole part of finishing the album and making some decisions on the album while there was the pandemic. So it's been the most influence on it, I think.
So the album is titled Delta Estàcio Blues. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So the concept of Delta Blues, to me, because I'm an American, is a very American thing. What does it mean to you?
Para nós, acho que o mais interessante desse nome e do conceito que acabou virando o conceito do disco, é justamente esse cruzamento do que é a música, né, de referência norte-americana, que está presente no disco, mas isso ligado a uma tradição com a música brasileira, sobretudo o samba, e aí simbolizado pelo Estácio.
So we about the name of the album and the Delta, what it means to her is like, it's more like a crossroad in Black music around the world. So thinking about this, like not only watching from the American music point of view, but also with it. So it's in the album somehow, and how it crosses, and thinking it in with together, working at the same time of important Brazilian music, that is the samba, that wakes up at the same time of what we call the blues. So how this two, and how this works like a crossroads or like a cross line for all the Black music around the world.
Oh, very interesting. And so you worked with Kiko Danucci on the record, who you're with Metameta. So how is this music that you're releasing under your own name different than the Metameta music?
O que o disco é diferente do Metameta? É isso?
Porque assim, você trabalhando com o Kiko, mas o que você assina como seu disco solo, o que é a diferença para o Metameta?
Eu acho que a principal diferença do Delta Estàcio Blues é justamente o procedimento com elementos eletrônicos, elementos da música eletrônica. Isso é algo que no Metameta a gente até fez alguma coisa na trilha do Grupo Corpo, mas não é o característico, né, do Metameta.
So the most different thing from Metameta, she think, is the procedure with the work, alongside the work with the electronics. So it's not something that really appears on Metameta music. They tried something with a record they did for a dance album, a dance company from Brazil called Grupo Corpo, which is called Gira, where there are some electronics, but the album of Juçara is all electronic. Yeah, it's just a little bit. So the Juçara's album is like thinking with the electronics, I think.
O procedimento, o procedimento básico.
Yes. The process is beginning from electronics.
Right. So I'm assuming that kind of Kiko was creating the beats and that Juçara built the vocals and are on top of it. How exactly did they work together? Were they together in the same room? Did they communicate a lot, or back and forth with files, that kind of thing?
Conta para ele que nós quarentenamos juntos porque a gente mora no mesmo prédio.
Well, they live in the same building, so they had the quarantine together. So she lives in upstairs, and then she go down. If they needed, they could meet somehow. They could call each other on the building phone. So so the first the quarantine, yeah.
Todo o processo nós fizemos em dupla mesmo. Ele comandando as coisas no computador e eu sempre ao lado ajudando a decidir, escolhendo timbres, escolhendo, né, levadas e fazendo as melodias com ele.
So the whole process, they did it together. She was always with him. He was like doing most the part of the electronics and making the music, but she was always with him, like working on timbres and what it sounds and how the music should go. And they worked really together, I think so. So they like something that they both did. And then after we had some musicians that Juçara added.
Nós convidamos vários amigos músicos para entrar no processo e criar a partir dessas bases.
So, they invited some friends, that musicians, for specific things, doing specific things, but always beginning with the beat.
Right.
So they could start, and well, almost every track has somebody working in something different.
Right.
From almost not every, but lots of tracks is just Juçara and Kiko and their toys. But
Well, one of the ones I wanted to talk about features Fernando Catato. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about how he got involved and about that track. I'm not going to try to pronounce the title because I'll blow it. but I love the music is great.
Procurando respostas tão profundas, tive medo de nunca mais voltar. Que vem a brisa leve, outra recordação que possa me mostrar o que eu busquei ou não. E se eu trouxer de volta lembranças que guardei, mesmo que estejam mortas, que eu saiba onde deixei.
Essa música começou muito diferente do que ela se transformou.
So this music has started really different from what it is now. It's really different from the start.
Fizemos uma base, eu e Kiko, fizemos a melodia e convidamos o Catatal para fazer apenas a letra.
They did like the beat and then the melody, and then they invited Catatal only for the lyrics.
Okay.
At first.
Mas quando ele devolveu, a gente percebeu que tinha um problema na melodia.
However, when he came back with the lyrics, they found out that there was a melody problem. They didn't like it somehow. On the second part of the music. It was not working for them. So it went back.
Tentamos mudar e mandamos de volta para o Catatal.
So they tried to change it and they sent it back to Catatal to see what he is going to do.
E ainda não ficou interessante.
And there wasn't enough. They didn't like it yet. It wasn't something that they liked it yet. So.
E aí, quando estávamos quase desistindo, sugerimos que ele pegasse a música e fizesse o que ele quisesse.
So when they were almost like giving up the music for the record, they decided to invite him not only to do the lyrics, but also think about the arrangements and do whatever he wanted to do with the music.
Right.
And so,
então ele fez
it was more.
Então o arranjo é todo do Catatal. Ele manteve algumas coisas da melodia original, mas criou outras partes e aí ficou essa música que a gente conhece agora.
So the arrangement is all of his, and then he used some parts of the melody, but he changed a lot of it, and then it's the music that we hear now.
Excellent. Now, from what I've read, Danny Brown's Atrocity Exhibition album is something that was influential in this record. So maybe you can explain how that happened.
Eu não sei se é uma influência, eu acho que é mais uma inspiração.
So what Juçara said is not exactly something that is influential, but it's like an inspiration more than influential. So.
Okay.
Na época que a gente começou a fazer o disco, 2017, estávamos eu e o Kiko apaixonados pelo disco do Danny Brown e impressionados com a diversidade das bases de sonoridade que tinha o disco.
So when they started to make the record that was in 2017, both of them, Kiko and Juçara, were like addicted to Danny Brown record. They were like hearing it a lot. And mostly really impressed of the variety of beats, the difference in between the musics, although they were constructed from electronics. And
e aí, acho que isso foi um dos motes, assim, que inspirador mesmo, foi inspirador nesse lugar.
So this was the inspiring thing about Dennis Brown.
Okay, very good. Now, another track I wanted to discuss was Crash. Which almost is kind of is more spoken than singing, and it's very and I think there's a video with it as well, so tell me a little bit about that one. Yeah.
O mequetrefe atacou todo seu ódio em mim. Se fosse tempo atrás, seria meu fim, mas eu topei de esquivar e o soco passou. Ele outro soco tentou, mas acertou o vazio. A ele era barril, viu? Curva de rio, tio. Esforço inútil, me deu calafrio. Eu tô num beco sem saída, mas também não vou correr. Agora prego, cê pagou pra ver.
Crash é uma composição do Rodrigo, é um rap muito importante aqui de São Paulo, ele é genial. E o Kiko fez a base e convidou. O Kiko tá fazendo. Não, vamos até aí, senão eu vou.
Okay. So it's a music composed by a very important rapper from São Paulo. It's called Rodrigo.
Right.
He wrote the lyrics because Kiko first started with the beat, right?
Uhum.
Then he sent the beat to Oji.
Sim. O Kiko tá produzindo o disco novo do Oji, então
Yeah,
tinha
Kiko is
uma
producing
proximidade.
Oji's new album also. So he was working with the same. They are always like really
Right.
Sim.
together. Yeah.
So is there a very close-knit musical scene
Yes,
over there? Everybody knows everybody?
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Oji, at last, Kiko's album from 2020, there's a music which Oji sings and has done the lyrics, and Juçara sings with Kiko. And we are going to do a concert on Wednesday if everything goes well.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you about
on Wednesday, where they are going to play
right
in the same. He's going to play his album, and she's going to play her album. Both are on both bands.
Right. That'll be great. So are there live music?
There's this music scene very close.
Are live concerts happening over there? Are you able to get together and play?
Não entendi.
Se já voltaram os shows, né? A pergunta foi. We jumped and crashed to the concerts.
Okay.
É verdade.
She didn't finish it about crash.
Yeah.
Mas é um crash mesmo, né?
Yeah, but it's a crash.
All right.
We are starting having some concerts, but it's been hard.
Right.
But
yeah.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Muitas incertezas.
Too much uncertainty, like if there anyone like can have disease, anything that can happen, like very uncertain. So
right. Yeah.
There are some concerts, but it's not like
essa semana aqui em São Paulo, muitos amigos músicos tiveram seus shows cancelados, muitos.
Yeah, this week in São Paulo and in Rio, many events and concerts were, and in Rio and in all Brazil, many people that were probably most of people there only work of the month it was canceled, so it's been really hard.
Yeah, sounds
it's been scary. But we're trying. Let's crash.
Speaking of scary, I wanted to jump to the last track on the record because it has a saxophone on it, a kind of squawking saxophone, which I love. And so maybe you can tell me a little bit about why that's at the end of the record and who's playing the sax.
Esse é o momento Metameta do disco.
This is perfect Metameta because it's Thiago França, which is the third part of Metameta. There are a trio.
All right.
Sarah, Thiago and Kiko, and it's the last song, and the saxophone is Thiago França from Metameta.
E é uma canção. Eu fiz a melodia a partir da base e coloquei uma melodia, uma letra em Yorubá. E isso também é algo que tem a ver com o repertório do Metameta. A gente tem várias músicas no Metameta com letras, né, em Yorubá.
And it first started from the beat, and then Juçara made the melody, and then she made these lyrics in Yoruba, which is very Metameta also, because there are a lot of songs of Metameta that are singing in Yoruba.
Uh-huh. All righty. So the record came out several months ago. What has the reaction been? Does it get played on the radio in Brazil? I have no idea what the music scene is like over there, or is it all kind of pop music mostly? Is this considered commercial music or experimental?
No,
No, commercial, no.
No
Maybe
commercial.
experimental, I don't know. Apesar, eu acho que o disco tem um apelo pop, claro, assim, mas isso não significa que ele vá tocar nas rádios que tocam pop no Brasil, porque tem todo um esquema de distribuição aqui em rádio que dificulta esse tipo de trânsito.
So what Juçara said is that she believes that the album has a pop, something pop on it,
Right.
but the music scene here to play in radios or something like this is something that's very hard. Sometimes you have to pay for it, so it's not because it has something pop on it that is going to be playing on the radios.
Gotcha.
So
Mas-
but has been a good reception
Sim.
on the
Yeah.
critical scene. Yes,
Very good.
Ganhamos o prêmio Super
we won.
Júri Multishow. O álbum foi colocado na maioria das listas de sites de música daqui do Brasil, então.
So the album
bem
was
recebido.
like very well. People are liking it a lot.
Right.
It's been
Yeah, let's go.
almost all Brazilian album lists from this last year in
Right.
very high places, and
Nice.
has won 2 prizes also.
Yeah,
So-
very good. There was one more track I wanted to talk about. Oi Cat.
Yeah.
Oi, Cat!
Oi, Cat.
It almost sounded like Tom Waits to me, to my ears. Tell me what it
verdade.
should sound like.
Oi, cats. Oi, cats. Oi, cats. Só falo com cats. O que você quer comigo? Eu não tenho casa. Oi, cats.
É de um disco do Tantão e os Fita, eles são do Rio de Janeiro, e muito fã deles. Eu coloquei essa música num show anterior à elaboração do disco, e aí na hora de fazer o disco eu resolvi incluir essa faixa.
So it's a track from Tantão e os Fita, which is a carioca trio,
Right.
electronic music, and Juçara liked it a lot, and she used it to play it at a concert she had with Brigitte Fontaine repertoire.
Sim.
She put it on the concert
show.
and then on the record, and she started to make
E é uma música que nós fazemos junto mesmo.
in the concert, Brigitte Fontaine's La Fama Barbe and Oi Cat, they are really mixed together. It's not like in the album that's separated.
Right.
In the concerts, they do start one from the other.
No vinil também vai ficar junto.
And in the vinyls, yes, it's gonna be together also. In the streaming, it's not possible because you have to do like poo-poo-hee or something like this. It's not like
So are you thinking about what you're going to do next? Are you going back to working with Metameta? Or are you going to make another solo work? What's the plan? Do you have one?
As coisas sempre caminham paralelamente aqui. Nós participamos de vários projetos ao mesmo tempo. Assim.
So they are all in all projects all the time at the same time. So things go in parallel. They
Right.
they can play Metameta concerts and Juçara's and Kiko's and Thiago's. Everybody has like their own projects and projects with other projects with the guys from the Metameta and other people. have a lot of things going on at the same time. It's normal.
Ah, very good, very good. And do you play outside of Brazil much, or mostly locally? Do you travel?
Antes ou futuro?
Tá perguntando se você costuma viajar, se vocês costumam
Ah,
viajar.
sim.
Sim, né?
Com o Metameta, nós acho que desde 2012 a gente todo ano faz uma turnê na Europa.
With Metameta, they have been making tours in Europe since 2012.
Uh-huh.
Uhum.
Last year they did a tour, just Juçara and Kiko, right? Playing
Isso. Rastilho, né?
playing
Que foi o
Rastilho,
disco
that's
que o...
Kiko's album. And she's planning a 2022 tour soon in Europe also.
Very
Sim.
good. Maybe sometime even come down to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'd love to have it.
Sure.
We'd love to.
We do have kind of at least a Latin American scene a little bit. It's not huge,
Right.
but it's all we can do at the moment. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's been a real pleasure listening to the record and meeting you. So fantastic, and good luck with everything. And hope
Thank
things
you.
get better in Brazil.
We hope to.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Martin.
Bye-bye.